Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid April 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Virgo collective in mid-April? It's still Aries season at the time of this filming. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo in mid-April. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. Hopefully, yeah. Ask and you shall receive. Cool. So this card always makes me chuckle. Like, you see this lady with all those things in her hair. I don't know what it is. It just tickles my funny bone. But this could actually be a very good card. And of course, as with everything, there's an up and down when it comes to this. But I like it. But she has a lot of stuff on her mind, literally, right? Now, before we fully get into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this lovely lady over here. So it looks like she's a painting, right? She's within a frame, beautiful beehive hairdo, and she has all these different artistic implements in her hair, right? Like, she has all these instruments and this and that. So I love this for creative thinking, creative problem solving, thinking outside the box. I've been picking this up for the earth signs specifically the past couple of weeks, where there's that watery quality to it, which is great for imagination and like seeing things differently from different perspectives. So this is great for some of you. This could be spirit urging you to do something a little more creative, like an outlet maybe. So whether it's writing, painting, sculpting, you name it, like, this is an energy that has some form of release in that area. The only downside to this, and this does tie back to something I saw last week, is she has a lot of stuff on her mind, right? So for some Virgos, you might just have, I don't want to say a mental burden, but it's like, my mind here is here, 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 here. Like, my mind is in a lot of different places. So like, watch out for thought loops and stuff like that. And we'll talk about that momentarily as well, because this energy could be thinking like rapid fire. Now, sometimes that's good, right? Sometimes it's good to have, like, boom, thinking about this and planning that, as long as you have a good pace with it. So we're just going to let her chill out right there. She has a lot on her head. But let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Virgos. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So the reading was titled A Sudden Change. And to me, it did feel like some energy just doing a nice shift, or a quick one, where it's like, it's this way 1 second, that way the next. Now, changes could be very good. Life is about perpetual change. Sometimes things change for the better. Sometimes we take a step back. It all really depends on your situation. But aside from that shifting energy I saw last week, or that change, I was getting something similar here, where there's like, I'm trying not to think about something, but I think about it even more. So watch out for the thought loops, because that could bleed over for a little bit. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we can be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Virgo in mid-April. What's happening? Let's get this going here. What do we got? Okay, 8 of Cups. That energy's on the move. Okay, I don't dislike it. I know some people see 8 of Cups and are like, oh no, yikes. To me, it's just an action card. Just an action card, especially in the first position of a reading. So the energy's on the go. Energy's on the move. What we got here? Emperor, cool. So this could be very good, depending. Right, I like the Emperor, especially since we're currently in Aries season. That's a big Aries card. Let's get one more. Let's see what we got for you. What do we got for Virgo, please? Thank you. Okay, Queen of Cups. Cool. So we have other people showing up here. I mean, unless you got Aries placements or water sign placements, these could absolutely be other people. It's a balance, A lot of water here, but that works well with earth. Now let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading and tells us how the energy is going to be flowing. And we have a lot of water, a little bit of fire, a little smidge of that fire energy. And just like I was saying with this card in the very beginning, water is very similar. Now, the good thing about water energy, just like that woman with a lot on her mind, it's very creative, it's very expressive. So again, like whether it's like leaning into those outlets or just seeing things from imaginative perspectives, I love water. It could deal with emotional connections or partnerships. Water can also be huge for emotional investment, things that we care deeply for. So whether it's a situation, a person, a job, like if I'm fully emotionally invested, water is the element we're looking at. The downside to water is that sometimes it could be very overwhelming. But since Virgo is an earth sign, water works very well with earth. There's like this nice little balance. And we're even seeing this towards the back end, and I'll explain that momentarily. But then we have fire right here in the center with the Emperor. Fire is the realm of action. It's whether it's actions you take, the actions other people take. Fire is energy levels. So whether you're feeling high, whether you're feeling low, whether you're feeling rejuvenated or feeling zapped, fire rules over all that. Like health and wellness is a big thing. Fire is usually good. It's passion, drive, and desire, but the downside to fire is that it could sometimes be explosive, right? So we have this intriguing mixture because it's like we have action, action, coast. It's like kick, kick, coast, like how the energy seems to move, which could be a right. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting with the Eight of Cups. Now, a lot of people, I already mentioned, when they see the Eight of Cups, are like, oh, that's an energy that seems to be walking away. And yeah, it could absolutely be read like that. But in my simplistic style, I don't just see this person as walking away from the Eight of Cups. I see them moving towards the Nine. So if anything, the Eight of Cups can be a card of improvement. It just depends on what lens you're viewing it through, right? Because in its most classic form, it's like, yeah, I'm moving on from this, or I'm moving towards something. Now, whenever I see a big action card, yes, it can represent to me distance and travel or progress. So to me, I'm just calling this neutral action so far until we see what clarifies it. Notice that there's a moon, there's like this dark setting, and this person is going off into the unknown. So there is this layer of unknown to it. Now, the big downside to the Eight of Cups is sometimes it could be a knee jerk reaction. So watch out for things like that, where it's like, I didn't think something through, and then boom, I just do it. So not saying it's you, it could be someone else even, where there's like a knee jerk reaction of some kind. But I'm just seeing it as action. I think the Eight of Cups can actually be very good, especially when we pair it with the next card over. Because as we get this Eight of Cups right back where it belongs by that amethyst, we move into our good pal, the Emperor himself. Now, I already mentioned we're in Aries season. We got the big Aries card. If you're not connected to an Aries, maybe this is going to tell us something about what's coming up for the remainder of Aries season. But when I see the Emperor, I think of divine masculine energy. I think of people in positions of authority, like managers and bosses, or just someone that calls the shots, because the Emperor is the king of kings. Now, for some Virgos, maybe you're stepping into this energy, right? Maybe you're stepping into this vibe where it's like, nope, I'm going to direct where this goes. I'm taking the reins. I'm taking control. So yeah, when I see the Eight of Cups with this combined, it's like I'm directing where this ship is going. So I really like that. Now, the downside to the Emperor, aside from all that fiery stuff we were talking about earlier, this can sometimes be an energy that's a little too controlling, overly controlling. There's certain times in life where there's something that we want to shift or we want to change, but it's like the world's working against us. Like, so sometimes if this isn't an overbearing individual, the Emperor could represent certain things that are out of our hands. And sometimes it could even be power struggles. But I think it's okay. Like when I see it next to the Eight of Cups, it gives me a good vibe. And especially with the next card we have coming up, there's an offset to this because we have all this action and movement in the front. And then we move in with the Queen of Cups. Soft, beautiful, divine feminine. So you see what I mean? We have the divine masculine, divine feminine. We have the action, and then we have the emotional energy tied to it as well. So it's a perfect balance where like all this action, at least so far, doesn't seem too aggressive, doesn't seem too pushy. If this isn't a water sign you're connected to, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, the Queen of Cups represents that internal energy we already discussed times two, right? So she's very, very emotional. So again, it's great for the creative things, thinking outside the box, emotionally expressive. We like her. The downside to this card, and remember, every card has a downside. The Queen of Cups can sometimes suppress something until it overflows, like an emotional eruption of sorts. So we do want to keep a close eye on her. But just the way the energy flows, it's like we have the action, we have the control, and then we have this energy that seems to balance it out. So everything seems to be moving in a decent way. At least that's how I'm reading it so far. But we'll see what's up. Now, I want to dive deeper on all this, Virgo. So let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for our Virgo friends in mid-April, please? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Eight of Cups. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Eight of Cups time. Maybe we're seeing the energy of other people too, obviously, like with the Emperor and the Queen of Cups and this lady in the beginning with all the different stuff. Because for some of you, we might be looking at the circle around you. But let's go in on Eight of Cups. What's happening here? Okay. All right, so this is definitely an energy that's ready for a change. Okay, so we have the Death card in the upright underneath this Eight of Cups. In the classical sense of these cards, and I'll give you my intuitive as well, but the Eight of Cups with the Death card is ending something. But the initial thing I'm picking up, I don't want to hone in too much on this ending energy. Life is all about beginnings and endings, right? So, like, this doesn't have to be something life altering. It could just be a shift out of one mode into another, from one cycle to another. So when I see the Eight of Cups with the Death card, this is an energy that's like ready for a change, where it's like I'm just waiting for that perfect timing. I don't know why that's coming through. Now, death energy is connected to Scorpio, extremely transformational type of energy. And I always say, don't get creeped out by this card. It's not like the worst case scenario. Sure, can it represent endings? Could it be karmic in nature? Absolutely, it can be. But to me, I think of Phoenix rising energy. I think of shift and transformation. So yeah, Eight of Cups with this death, either it's an energy that's ready for a change or there is a big change brewing here. Like there is some sort of dynamic that's about to transform. That's just how it feels. So again, whether it's something internal or external, this energy, it's like I'm ready. I've been ready. This energy is about to shift or change in a very, very big way. So we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. I know initially with all this energy, it felt balanced. It felt like it was moving in the right direction. So we're going to hope that continues. But we still have like this overwhelming amount of water energy too. Well, let's keep going. So yeah, again, for some of you, could this be putting an end to something or an ending of some kind? Absolutely. But to me, it's also an energy that's just ready for a change. Like it's primed and ready to go. So we got a big one brewing. Let's go in on the Emperor. Let's go in on the Emperor, see what he has. So I really want to get to that Queen of Cups too. But why is the Emperor here for my Virgo friends? Why is our good pal the Emperor here? Okay. So we have the Three of Pentacles, and it's like, I don't watch out for people not agreeing with you. I don't know why that's coming through. It's very specific, and sometimes we're going to do things, or certain things are going to happen where not everybody's going to be on board. There could be some people where I don't feel like it's stark opposition, but to me, it's like no, like this is your journey. This is what you're going through. What this person says doesn't matter, and I don't want to sound mean, but when I see the Emperor with the Three of Pentacles in reverse, it's like they could say what they want. I'm going to do this anyway. Or they could think what they want. I'm still the boss of my situation, my life. So either it is an unpopular decision or just someone coming to peace with a sense of controlling their own destiny. That's how it feels to me. Now, we do have this little energy surrounding other people, especially with the court cards and now the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Usually, this is a card of co creation, teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work, heavy when it comes to career. So when I see it in reverse underneath this Emperor, could there be some career changes coming up for some Virgos? Absolutely. But aside from that, to me, it's like I'm just gonna do what I want. Like what they think, what they say, doesn't matter. So watch out for someone making an unpopular decision. I don't know why that's coming through, but unpopular doesn't mean that it's wrong, right? People could think what they think. They could say what they say, right? We're going to keep going. Very specific. And listen, I say it all the time. I do a lot of personal readings for Virgos and, very familiar with the energy. So this is peculiar to me. Like normally Virgo energy doesn't cause waves, so maybe this is somebody else causing waves. But the energy is going to do what it wants anyway. That's how it feels to me. Where it's like, if it's unpopular, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do what I want. Let's keep going over to the Queen. Hope that doesn't sound too harsh, but let's see what's up with the Queen of Cups. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So we got shifting energy. We have an energy that's doing what it wants. I mean, that's cool. Let's see why the Queen is here. Nice. And being proven right in the end. That's the vibe I'm picking up here. So we have the Ten of Pentacles in the upright underneath this Queen of Pentacles. So we go from this energy in the front that is like very tense, a little difficult potentially. And we have this choppiness as well. But right here on the back end, the Ten of Pentacles is everything. That's a huge win, victory, blessing. And it's content. It's an energy that's like, you know what? I'm at peace. I feel happy. I'm happy with this decision, this direction, this choice. And to me, it's an energy that gets proven right in the end. So if it is an unpopular decision, or if you do something that not everyone really agrees with, it's like, yeah, but it worked out for me regardless. Right. So, and that's a big thing. I do believe in taking the opinions of others sometimes. Right. It's good to get a second opinion. It's good to get other people's perspectives. But at the end of the day, you're the one in charge of your ship. Right. And like when I see the Queen of Cups with the Ten of Pentacles, that's not just an overall win, victory, blessing, or growth. It feels to me like that unpopular decision or choice or action was proven right in the end, or everything just seemed to work out for me looking back in retrospect. So I love that. I really love this here on the back end. So we have a very intriguing mixture of stuff here, hyper specific in some areas, Virgo, but I love how the energy ends off here. There is things here about other people and groups. It's like all over the place in here. So just do with that what you will. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, my friends, we start off with a little bit of choppiness, if we even want to call it that. We got the Eight of Cups with the Death card. Now, sure, could that be an ending of some kind? Absolutely. But to me, it felt like somebody that's like primed and ready for a change or a shift. And it feels like it's imminent, like it feels pretty massive. So something to keep in mind as you move through the coming days and weeks. Moving to the center, we have the Emperor with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they think. This is what I'm doing. This is what I decide. So to me, it was given like an unpopular decision or choice. But another thing I'm watching here, watch out for shifts or changes when it comes to work and career, because that could be a big potential for some of you. In the end, the energy goes in a great place and does pay off because we have the Queen of Cups with the Ten of Pentacles, emotionally solid and stable, being proven right in the end. So we got this winner victory once we get past all of this. It's like we push through the resistance into the winner victory. So I love that. But yeah, please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got? Okay. That card almost flew across the room. All right, so we got Justice in the upright. Lady Justice. Love this card. Big Libra vibes. Now, again, this is another karmic card, very similar to the Death card. It could be someone at a crossroads, decision point, make or break time. That's a big thing. But a thing I always say about Justice is that it's normally fair and balanced. So I like that. Like that could say, like, hey, if you have a choice or if you're going to pick a direction, this might be a good one. So that's the nice thing. But what's the downside with Lady Justice? Sometimes it can represent things or situations that you don't think are quite fair, right? So just watch out for things like that, whether it's how someone's being treated or just it's something where it's like, that's not right. There's something that could be a little off kilter. Aside from that, if we put that to the side, justice does also tie heavily into anything contractual or legal. So if you're dealing with any legalities or contractual things, putting your signature on anything, be very, very careful when this card shows up in the shadows. But yeah, I mean, the energy mellows out. So we're just going to put it down right there, Virgo. That's what I got for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the April subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the April subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice winner's choice once again. At the end of the month, I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to either win their choice of the Gilded Tarot Royale, or one of the custom made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So, winner's choice. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, you can let me know down in the comments, how much do you know about the meanings of tarot cards? Are you an expert reader? Are you a beginner, intermediate? Do you know a lot? Do you know a little? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. YouTube changed it. And yeah, that's where it'll be, my friends. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.